We are going to move forward with our public hearing on the 2026 budget. Do I have a motion to move into the public hearing? Made a motion by trustee Kumar. Do I have a second?
I second it.
A second by trustee Sabri. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, voice vote, please. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we are now open to the public hearing and ready for our presentation. Manager Rivas.
Okay, we're going to be bringing up Finance Director Susie Micah just for some brief opening comments before we open up to public comment.
Good evening. This evening, I'm just going to give you a quick summary of what we have drafted so far, again, for the proposed budget. And again, this is a draft. So as an overall view of the budget, the general fund is expected to end this fiscal year, 2025, with 5.5 million in the black, which means positive. And so we're looking to take that 5.5 million to cover the general fund in FY 2026, the deficit of 5.4 million. So in essence, it washes each other out. The capital fund, which is also the building and land improvement funds, nets itself out with the proposed budget. All revenues and expenditures equal out. The same with all the police funds that are acted thereafter, which shows the DUI fund, the drug enforcement fund, etc. The different TIF funds all reflect either accumulated positive balances from previous years or planned projects in the upcoming fiscal year that'll be financed through property taxes. And that's again for the TIF funds that were anticipated. MFT anticipates a positive fund balance at the end of this year to roll over into next year for the projects that are proposed. The Hotel Motel Fund and NESRA both net each other out, revenues equal expenditures. The Recreation Fund and the Park Fund, there is some last minute changes that were made at the time that we finalized this, but those are some minor refinements that are going to need to be done, and we'll mark those out before the actual proposal to you on December 8th. The Swimming Pool Fund nets itself out. The Debt Service Fund ends the year in black, which means a positive balance. The Street Improvement Fund, which is also, and the Capital Projects Fund also need to be refined, and we need to look at that a little bit closer in terms of, there's a couple things that are kind of not on par, but we're buttoning that up so that we can have that final number for you on December 8th. But again, it will be balanced. And then the Equipment Replacement Fund nets out. The Stormwater Buyout Fund nets out. And then the water and wastewater, both those funds, one of them has a little bit of a deficit proposed, but that's proposing that everything goes through. But we also have a positive balance that we're ending this year with, so that we're just using a little bit of reserves. And then the wastewater fund nets itself out. So that's just a quick summary of what's proposed in front of you. Again, there'll be some small refinements before the final budget is presented to you at the next board meeting. But that's a proposal for right now in draft form.
Okay.
That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Board, do we have any questions or comments or concerns for Director Micah? Okay, seeing none, we will move on to public comment for the public hearing on the 2026 budget. Is there anybody in the public that would like to speak regarding our 2026 budget?
Cheryl Tucker. I briefly got a chance to look over the budget tonight, but I did notice that our mosquito outlet and our tree removal trimming had two different numbers. It had 10-251-528628, and it also had 10-258-528628. And then the tree removal had 10-251 528728, and also 10-258-528728 on it. And they both have different amounts. So I don't know if they're two different line items for the same thing and do two different branches, or how that works, but I did notice that briefly on that. The other thing I did notice is the cannabis tax is still under parks, and on 3600444026. And I believe there was a discussion on the board on trying to get that moved to future funding for the swimming pool, because that was what it was originally brought up when the trustees wanted to get that 1% of the thing. And I know President Kevin Patrick was on the board when we were making that decision, that we were trying to do that for the future possibility for the swimming pool, that 1% was supposed to be trying to lead that direction instead of in recreation and parks directly. So I don't know if that's eventually gonna be moved that way in future budgets or not, but I did notice it's still not under that. And I believe there is a swimming pool line item. In the past, there hasn't been one. So, just a thought while you're talking over the budget.
So we will have staff answer the questions that you had there, but regarding to your last one, regarding the cannabis tax, you're correct. You and I were both on that board, and if you go back and listen to the videos and look at the minutes, the 3% was divided in three ways. 1% to the police pension, 1% to the fire pension, and 1% was supposed to go to parks, just parks.
Not originally was decided that way, but I know that's how it ended up going.
That's how it's logged in the minutes, and that's how we voted. And it's on YouTube if you'd like to go back and review that. So,
And I also was at the meeting, and I know that wasn't what was intended.
okay.
That's how the minutes got changed to it.
So if we could have Director Micah come forward and talk about the two different account numbers and the two different amounts for tree trimming.
You're referencing the two different amounts in Fund 251. Let me just pull that up. I'm only seeing one line item here for training and conferences under 10251. Can you repeat those two numbers to me?
51 and 258.
10251 and 10258? Okay.
10,251 and 10,258.
Okay, so that's easy to explain. There's no monies budgeted in 10258. There's absolutely no monies budgeted in any of that for 10258 because that was all consolidated into 10251. So as I explained to the board previously, what we had done is there was a lot of changes in account numbers between the different funds. So for the fire department, we consolidated several different divisions. There were 3 different divisions. There's now 1. The same holds true for the police department. There were, I think, 5 or 6 different divisions. We've consolidated those into 1. And the same for Public Works 251. So you'll see those duplicate numbers that are in Fund 257, 258, but you'll notice that there is no monies budgeted for 2026. Those all have been consolidated into 251. So for 2026, there's, again, no monies budgeted. And that shows that clearly on the report.
Thank you.
Are there any other public comments on our 2026 budget from the public? Okay, seeing none, we will go ahead and close the hearing. Do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll make that motion, please.
Trustee Sabri, do I have a second?
Second.
Trustee Kozar, is there any discussion? Okay, seeing none, voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, there is none, so this then closes the public hearing on the 2026 budget at 7:13 PM. And we will go ahead and move forward with the rest of our special meeting agenda. Are there any amendments to the agenda? Manager Rivas?
If it pleases the board, I'd like to make a suggestion to have 15A and 16A come right after 9A. That's one motion I'd like to suggest to the board if they would. And then also on consent agenda, if we can pull 11I from the consent agenda, and we're going to put that on the 12/8/25 village board meeting.
Okay. Is there a motion from the board to move items 15A and 16A to behind 9A and to postpone agenda item 11I to the December 8th meeting?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion by trustee Sabri, seconded by trustee Kozar. Is there any discussion? Okay, seeing none, voice vote, all in favor?
Aye.
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 All opposed? Okay, seeing none, we will go ahead and do that. Moving along to public comments on agenda items. Clerk Lauken.
We have nobody.
Okay, is there anybody in the audience that would like to speak under public comments on agenda items? Okay, oh, okay.
Your first reading of 13 for the Village Fest. Starting creating that. I think it's a great idea that you're looking forward to doing that, to get a committee like we used to have the Summerfest committee. What I am concerned about, though, is some of the statements in there that you didn't seem to have guidelines on how the Village Fest will be collaborating with all the other commissions. Are they also going to be working with the VFW? Because you did mention parade things. It wasn't real clear, and I know they're a commission, but I think there needs to be a little more guidelines on how they're going to collaborate with the Fund Commission, who makes great presentation and does a lot of things for the village on the family thing. The Rec Commission is working on organizing more things for family activities. And then I know the Garden Commission's doing the same thing. It kind of briefly suggests that the Villa Fest Committee will be sort of overseeing the other ones to do some type of collaboration for all the goals, so it wasn't real clear on it. So if maybe that can get cleaned up, or it may be more guidelines on how that's going. I know the commissions are working and setting it up, but when the commission does get organized, maybe we can see a little more guidelines on how they're going to collaborate. The new Village Fest, like we used to have the Summer Fest, and if they're going to get all the other commissions as part of working together with that, if that's what you meant by collaborating it all, that they're each going to work with them to do the whole festival. That's all. I just wanted a little more clarification on where you're kind of going with that committee, because the Summerfest committee did have a big part in organizing things, and I know that our staff, our Park and Rec staff, is kind of overwhelmed, and this is a great thing to have a committee take that over. I appreciate you considering that.
Thank you. Is there anybody else that would like to speak on public comments on agenda items? Okay, seeing none, we'll move forward to public comments on non-agenda items.
Molly Cars?
Okay.
Hi, I'm Molly Cars. My address is 442 South Princeton here in Villa Park. I was here just a few weeks ago to talk about Go Green Villa Park. It's a new group that we started here in Villa Park, and we have a couple of new projects that I want to introduce. But I also wanted to tell you guys, because many of you weren't here the night that I was here, a little bit about Go Green. So Go Green Illinois started in 2013, and there are now 30-plus Go Green communities. The best thing about, in my opinion, the best thing about the group is every town decides what they want to focus on for their community. You work on what you choose, so I love that. I started working on Go Green over a year ago, and I introduced the group in Villa Park at Summerfest. I did a rain barrel raffle, and we also gave away lawn bags, which Ace Hardware donated, which was amazing, and I gave out lawn stickers, which LRS donated, so that was amazing too. Thank you to both of them. Our first meeting was in September. Last week was our third meeting. So I want to invite all of you to join us. If you go on our website, we also have Facebook, Instagram, you will see the dates of our meetings, okay? So the two projects that I want to tell you about is we're doing holiday light recycling. So everyone's starting to decorate and finding out the lights are broken. So if you want to drop them off, we have 4 sites that have agreed to have a box for collection. One is right here in the rec center. One is the Villa Park Library. We also have Ace Hardware here in Villa Park, and the Prairie Food Co-op. So some of the boxes are out now, but they will be out right around Thanksgiving until the middle of January. So also, if you email us through our website, we can come and pick them up. We just want to make it as easy as possible. So that's great, and thanks for those people for helping us and having the boxes in their lobbies. The second thing is we're doing a kid clothing swap. That's going to be February 7th. That's also going to be at the library. We are going to have a collection box maybe mid-January for that. We're going to take clothes, all kids' clothes, weather gear, boots, coats. So a lot of people right now are going to be going out and replacing their kids' boots and coats. If you guys want to get rid of that stuff and not wait till February 7th, you can always drop a bag on my porch, 442 South Princeton, and I will bring it to the swap for you. I know you don't like to have those big bags sitting around your house, so I will have them sitting around my house. We just want to keep as much stuff as we can out of the landfill, and I think both of those projects will help to do that. So, if you need more information, like I said, we have Facebook, Instagram, a website, and you can contact us through those things. I think that's, oh, don't forget, the Saturday after Thanksgiving, they have a cooking oil recycling event at the Salt Creek Sanitary District. I think that's it. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you.
Larry Hebert? I'll get it right one of these days.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you to our board for all the work they do. First question, are we here next month, or is the elevator fixed?
Well, we had some unexpected delays, so it looks like for the foreseeable future that we're going to be here for the time being.
Just wondering. Okay. I stood at a podium in front of this board about 8 years ago. I'm sure you remember the day that most of you weren't on the board then, as director of the Lombard Villa Park Food Pantry. I asked this board and the Lombard board for $25 a month because the electric bill that we were paying was $50 a month. This board refused me $25 a month because, as the president said, we don't want to set a precedent on giving money to one food pantry. Well, I see we have set a precedent. I'm sure, I always think that Villa Park does a pretty good job with their budget, but somehow we found $10,000 for the York Pantry. And I don't begrudge them over that because I work with them also. I bring them food and we work together. But as someone that has volunteered at the Outreach House, which serves approximately 40% Villa Park people, we also serve more than 150 families every day, 3 times a week. plus Saturdays and evenings. So we're well over 500 families a week. The Outreach House Food Pantry, and we have a free clothes closet for everybody, every age limit. We have free clothes. We have free food. We don't even ask what your income is. If you live in York Township, the food is free. Nobody should be hungry. My point is we've been running that with volunteers, whereas York Center has 2 paid clerks that run the food pantry. We were all volunteers and serving way more people, and we still serve way more people than the York Center does. So I'm not trying to shame on you guys, but I'm hoping that we will give more discretion on where the money goes. I don't know where the money came from. I don't really care right now. I'm just a little upset that we couldn't have divided that up to a pantry that not only serves 40% Villa Park people and more people every day. I just really want you guys to think about it. If we find some more big money, the Outreach House is doing a hell of a lot more than the York Pantry, and I don't begrudge them that. I've been to the York Center several times for senior things and helped out at the pantry. But really, I don't know if you guys have ever been to the Outreach House. Anybody? Yeah. So if you've been to the new location, which is absolutely tremendous. And the new location is not all volunteers. It can't be anymore. With 500 families just getting food every week, not to mention the hundreds of families that come in for clothes. And you know, we have all kinds of other services now too. And we also have 15,000 square feet. So we've been very blessed with donations from the government, both the federal and state, so that we can have this facility. The people in Villa Park should know about it. The Outreach House is a tremendous place, serving a lot of people, and no one should go hungry.
Absolutely. I would like to comment on that, Larry, and first of all, nobody on this board was here 8 years ago.
Right, yeah, that's what I said.
And I think it's a shame that 8 years ago, when you were looking for assistance, that you couldn't get any. That's a shame.
Lombard also turned me down. I mean, that was crazy, but nevertheless.
One of the things that I'll say, though, is that I believe that we are a different board. We are a different dynamic up here. I do think we are forward-thinking, and I think we put community first. The village did donate $10,000 to the York Township Food Pantry. And if you want to put blame on anybody, put it on me.
No, I'm not putting it on. I just
But
want us to think about it.
that is the purpose that we are supposed to do with that. It was a good cause. Look at what is going on in the world right now regarding our food prices. Even the SNAP benefits haven't made its way to all the recipients still. There are a lot of issues going on. Here we are, Thanksgiving. Today, I joined the VFW along with Trustee Sabri, are donating turkeys to the food pantry as well. Now, I understand that the Outreach House provides 40% up to Villa Park, and we greatly appreciate that. And I think moving forward, there needs to be a stronger partnership with the Village of Villa Park and the Outreach House. But I also want you to know that, and also to the people out there that might take part of the Outreach House benefits, is that York Township Food Pantry is yours as well. So if for some reason Outreach House doesn't have what you need, there are alternate sources here for you to go to. This is the whole purpose of us doing this, is because the York Township does provide for Villa Park and other municipalities just as much as Outreach House does as well. These are all organizations that care, that want to give back to the community and help where we can, and I think that is the positive spin that we have to make sure we maintain moving forward with this. So moving forward, I definitely would like for us as a village to have a stronger partnership with the Outreach House and talk about how we can collaborate on the future to make our residents' lives a little bit easier, and especially have the resources they might need if we have them when they need them.
Thank you. And just general information, you know, there's 9 food pantries within just DuPage County, big ones. So people shouldn't go hungry anyplace.
Larry, if I may also add, well, thank you for bringing this up to our attention. Yorktown, they reached out to us, and also as of today, if I may add, there was a long line. and they have to turn away people from that line. They could only serve, in the average, they're serving about 200 families a day, right now as we speak. This is from there today. Next thing was, since they turned away some of these individuals that they needed help, they asked them to come back because they're gonna reopen again between 5 and 7. So FYI, we are in a desperate need, so appreciate whatever you're doing for this township and also for Village of Willow Park. And please, to the public, we all need help. I reached out to my community, I reached out to some other donors that they have provided substantial amount of money for this cause, so thank you for doing this.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Larry. And
What's the
should-
address? What is the address of Outreach House?
805 South.
Drive in Lombard?
It's 805 South.
Oh,
Main
yeah,
Street in
she's
Lombard.
using the outreach
Do we
house.
have any more comments on, public comments on non-agenda items?
We do not.
Is there anybody in the audience that would like to speak under non-agenda items? Okay, seeing none, we are going to move forward. We do not have any proclamations this evening, but we do have a presentation by our Fund Commission for the Halloween Decoration Awards.
There's a second to get this thing going. Thank you, you guys get a little civics lesson tonight as well with your award, so. We're here to give out the award for Halloween decorating, and we had about 15 nominations, and they were all wonderful. And if we can get this thing going, we can show you them quickly. But can somebody help us do this? Well, anyways, imagine Halloween.
I see that out there, but I can't see.
And we had one that was very interactive. It had a lot of skeletons, and I hope we get the pictures because there's one really good picture of a skeleton. And here we go, boom. And we liked it because it was interactive, and it had chairs out in front of 1 million skeletons, and it said, come on and join in and sit down and get your picture taken with the skeletons. And we did, and while we were giving the award out, we saw some young kids walking down the street, called them over, and they sat and had their selfies done. So just to show how fun it was. So now we're going to be going through some of them. Do you have that? Oh, she got that going. I think we need a kindergarten computer for us. They have them for old people, but they don't have.
There you go.
There we go. Okay. So we have the addresses up there. And I'm having trouble seeing this, so let me go around this way. So we had Spookiest House and Most Family-Friendly House.
And we had 18 entries
18
this year.
So 15. So do you want to hit, so this is 616 North 2nd. And a lot of them, the pictures don't do them justice because they're very purple and orange, but that is Halloween. The little doll in this one was kind of spooky. 611 North 3rd Avenue.
I don't know that I can get any of this stuff to work.
And they just flip through them. There
Oh,
you
I got a
go.
video.
There you go. The music helps.
This is someone's house, by the way.
What some people will do for candy is unbelievable, because I wouldn't go through that. Okay, this is 646 North Lincoln, a lot of skeletons and stuff. Again, here we are in November doing this, and we have to work out something where we can get you people to see them in real life, because they really are very cool. This is a Gremlins Graveyard, 635 North Avenue. our North Ardmore. And this is a surprise. It's very, very hidden. So we were very lucky that they nominated themselves, because I'm sure it would have just not been seen by many people at all, except their neighbors. It's had a lot of gremlins, a lot of little things in it that you had to see.
Gremlins.
There's a gremlin, and as you go over this way, we will see the Ropers. There they are. Come on, knock on their door. We've been waiting for you. That's scary. And the spider, which isn't done justice in these pictures either, was just fantabulous. So, and this is a winner, so keep that in mind when we get to the end. And we wanted to know.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
It's awesome.
And we'll ask them where they store it all too, because I see they've got that new spider web too. They've been eco-friendly.
Oh, the plastic ones, yeah.
Well, I know it's plastic, but it's fabric more, and it's better for the animals and stuff. They don't get caught in it, and so that's nice.
When we went to announce the winner, notify them that they had won, their next door neighbor was out that evening, and their house was equally as decorated. They just had not submitted it. And they referred to the Gremlins graveyard as being at the dead end. And their house was next to the end. So, these videos, I have to say, from everyone that sent these in, were just spectacular. We obviously have a lot of videographers out there, so keep sending in these videos. We love them. I'm sorry. Going to the next one.
This is 518 North, is that Chatham or Chatham? I don't know.
Chatham.
332 Riverside Drive. Or 29, you can read them. That's very purple too. 621 South Summit. This is the interactive winner. And you can see the chairs. We'll have pictures of more pictures of the winners at the end.
This was 144 South Myrtle, and we called it Off the Beaten Path because it's literally on the Great Western Trail out here. So kudos to that family for participating and giving those that are traveling on the Great Western Trail a nice show.
Make them run faster when they get past that house.
This one freaks us out. Somebody submitted this, 916 South Myrtle, and all it said was inspired by Plainfield, Wisconsin, 1955.
Yeah, right?
What did you say?
Edward Dean.
Oh,
They brought that up.
There
when
you
we were
go.
voting. Yeah.
all right, so now we
Oh,
know.
Wisconsin.
That's hilarious.
A lot of skeletons this year. We saw a lot last year too, but we hope a lot of skeletons inspired by our skellies on the Prairie Path.
.331 West School Street. We call that one All in the Family, and I actually drove past that today, and it's already decorated for Christmas, and it's just as cool.
Oh, yay, we'll have to nominate him for that.
So we really like this one. It was 332 West Kenilworth, and this is a family-friendly, sensory, conscientious setup that was created by two daughters, one of whom has autism. They did an outstanding job ensuring that the environment remains sensory safe to prevent overstimulation from lights and sounds for others on the spectrum. So definitely take a look out for that next year.
These folks were right across the street from each other. You couldn't miss them.
All right. And the winners are, drum roll, please.
Which one do you have first? Thank you.
We have family friendly and interactive, 621 South Summit.
That's a Mendez family, and they were unable to show up today, but you can see they were dressed up as, I don't know, Day of the Dead stuff, I guess there. That picture right there, see the little skeleton is photobombing us there. I thought that was kind of funny. Those are the young gentlemen that we asked, come on, take your picture, let's see how it works. So it was a lot of fun. They said they watched the kids walk to school, I don't know which way, but sometimes they'd stop and get the picture taken. So they enjoyed the interactiveness of it too, people actually doing it.
All right.
So.
And
then the Gremlins Graveyard, which is the family we have here. If you'd like to come up and get your award, is this Biscaglio or Biscaglio? Biscaglio. Oh, yay me. So we have some questions to ask you. Where do you put this stuff?
I bought big containers from Home Depot.
Do you?
Big 150
Okay, and
gallon ones,
the whole
some
garage?
in the basement, some,
Yeah?
everywhere.
Yeah, and how long does it take you to put it up? Turn around. Show
It
us.
started in September.
I started
September?
that. So it took me pretty much almost a good month, maybe, to sell it
Yeah.
all, little by little.
How much do you add every year?
I don't know, how much do we add every year?
Do you go look and say, oh, I want
Kill me,
that?
but that's okay.
I want to know.
As long as you're not taking food from the babies.
Right.
Yeah, no, but yeah, that's fun. Yeah.
So it is fun, and
Yes.
I will tell everyone that your situation is really unique because people probably drive by your house 5,000 times a
Sure,
week,
yeah.
and they just don't know it's there.
Yes,
It's
yeah.
down the road that goes by the bridge over Ardmore,
Yeah.
and you have the perfect spot. You can have your own little Halloween
Yep, that's what
space,
we're
and
trying to do,
you
yeah.
have your neighbors that are joining in and everything, so
I
it.
think this is the first year we had a lot of trick-or-treaters. We've
Yeah.
never had trick-or-treaters.
Oh, well, that's good. The word's out then. That's good.
Last year when I was setting up my fog machine and getting it to work, the fire department came at me. That's all my fog machine.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
This is your
I
gift
appreciate
card.
it.
We
Thank
really
you.
appreciate your work. And we appreciate you letting us know where you are.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. And I would like everybody to know that while we were, oh, go ahead. Yeah, take a picture. Take a picture.
Take a picture with the
Want to get it? Yeah. Get in the picture. We'll get in there. Let's go back. Come on, Linda.
I'm trying.
I can't help it.
I know.
It's very cute.
Done that lately. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for coming.
Great job.
I just wanted to tell everyone that Halloween is so cool now here because in both places that we went to, people had fire pits going and you could tell they were ready to celebrate for the whole night. Families, meeting families and enjoying families and just getting out and hanging out with each other. So that's great. And we're going to do a Christmas or holiday decorating contest as well. It's going to start December 1st through December 20th. So make sure you get your nominations in for that. We'll be looking for that next. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. This is going to close up shop.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and move forward with 15 and 16A. 15A is an ordinance authorizing and approving for the issuance of not to exceed 15 million general obligation bonds, Series 2025B of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, for the purpose of paying, reimbursing certain redevelopment project costs in and for the St. Charles Road Commercial Corridor redevelopment project area, pledging certain revenues of said village, providing for the imposition of taxes to pay the same, authorizing the execution of various agreements in connection therewith, and authorizing the sale of said bonds to the purchaser thereof. Manager Rivas.
Thank you, Mr. President. This ordinance authorizes the issuance of up to $15 million in general obligation bonds to support the redevelopment of 100 to 110 South Villa Avenue, the Union Project, within the St. Charles Road Commercial Corridor Redevelopment Project Area, TIF District. The village previously agreed to issue these bonds as part of a redevelopment agreement with Marquette Real Estate Investments, LLC. Staff recommends approval. And in the audience, if you have any questions on this, we have the Senior Vice President at Spear Financial, Mark Giratina. Do you want to make an opening statement, sir, or are you just open for questions?
I can make a few comments if you want, or...
Well, please. Thank you.
Good evening. As Manager Rivas mentioned, this is the final board action in relation to the Village's St. Charles Road TIF corridor bonds. We plan to issue bonds the week of December, next week, the week of December 1st, and we need to first make sure that the developer, Marquette, has satisfied their side of the RDA requirements before selling the bonds. When we do sell the bonds is when the interest rate is locked in. We expect the rate to be right around 4% over 20 years. And during this process, we also affirmed the village's AA bond rating, which will help with the overall interest cost for these bonds. The bonds are scheduled to close on December 15th, which is when the village will receive the bond proceeds. And the TIF district's incremental tax revenues are the expected repayment source for the debt service on the bonds. So with that being said, I'd be happy to answer any questions the board may have.
Do I have a motion for the ordinance?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, Trustee Kozar. Do I have a second? Okay, seconded by Trustee Sabri. Okay, is there any other discussion? Trustee Kozar.
You had said, tell me again, what occurs on December 1st?
So that's when we sell the bonds. That's when the interest rate is locked in. That's when those bonds are sold to other institutions. And then approximately 2 weeks later is when the bonds close. That's when you'll receive the funds.
Okay. And to repay those bonds, it's coming from our TIF districts.
Correct.
What happens if there's not enough money in those TIF districts?
Then there's a backup property tax levy that just in case there's not any TIF increment.
So it's on the backs of the homeowners.
Correct. If there's not enough, yes, that is correct. If there's, but there's a requirement of 1.25 times coverage, so there is a buffer in there.
So the union has continued the closing, which I believe is now scheduled for December 15th for that property. What happens if they don't close on December 15th?
Then we can move it. I believe there is a deadline by the end of the year, Ryan, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So you sell them on December 1st. If they don't close on December 15th, we're paying interest from December 1st? Or December 15th
December
when we
15th
get the
is when
money?
you start the interest accruing, correct.
And then if they don't close on December 15th, we're still paying interest until they close, is that right?
Well, if they don't close, we won't sell the bonds until they close. So if once they close on their loan, is that what you're saying? So we won't actually sell the bonds and lock in the interest rate until we know for a fact that Marquette has closed on their loan.
Okay, I thought you said you were selling the bonds on December 1st.
We are, but that's assuming that they are.
I don't think they're scheduled to close till December 15th.
Okay, okay.
Am I wrong about that?
Their loan closure is before the closure of the sale of the property, the transfer of the property, and the closure on the bonds. Their construction loan closure will occur before that.
Okay, so they're going to close their construction loan on December 1st?
That's to be worked out with them on what date that will be done. But, Mark, if once the bonds are issued, If there's ultimately not a closing, what happens to those bonds then that have been sold?
Then there would be no bond sale. They would have to just go back and, the bonds are not sold until the actual closing date. So even though the interest rate is locked in, and the bond just wouldn't close. So the village would not just receive the $13 million in that case.
And when you say close, you're referring to the loan closing, not the property closing?
The bond closing. Yeah, the bond closing, not the property closing. I'm just talking about selling the bonds. Talking about two separate closings, the bond closing and the property closing.
And then there's the third closing, which is the developer's own private loans.
Right.
So those three closings will all happen moving towards the December 15th closure, and everything will come together at once, and if any piece is missing, then the closure doesn't happen.
Okay, and so if any one of those pieces doesn't happen, the village is not on the hook for these?
Correct.
At all? Okay. Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, seeing none, we will go ahead and roll call vote, please.
Trustee Cordova.
Yes.
Trustee Kozar.
Yes.
Trustee Kumar.
Yes.
Trustee Sabri.
Yes.
Okay, that ordinance passes. We'll go ahead and move forward to Resolution 16A, Resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, authorizing the village's 2026 Employee Health Insurance Program. Manager Rivas.
Thank you, Mr. President. Village staff has obtained through a new insurance broker competitive renewal quotes from Blue Cross Blue Shield, Illinois, for employee and retiree medical, dental, and vision, and life insurance effective January 1, 2026. Staff recommends approval, and in the audience, we have two representatives from Brown & Brown Insurance. We have employees consultant Peyton Wyatt and employee benefits department leader Khalil Hogan. For any additional questions, did you want to make an opening statement on this at all, gentlemen?
Sure.
Good evening, members of the board. Thank you for your time this evening. As you know, your renewal is up January 1st of 2026. We are in receipt of that information from Blue Cross and Blue Shield. This was a very difficult year with insurance, not just for the village of Villa Park, but for insurance in the insurance industry overall. As a result, your initial renewal increase came in at a 25% rate increase. We were successful in negotiating that down to an overall 18% rate increase with no change in benefits. The good news is your dental insurance ended up with a 4% increase. We were able to receive an additional $10,000 premium credit on top of that. So your overall premiums for dental are actually going down slightly by about $1,800 per year. Your vision insurance is locked in, no change in premiums for another year. Those are actually guaranteed until January 1st, 2028. Your group life insurance with Blue Cross and Blue Shield is locked in until January 1st of 2029, no change in rates. So overall, your total premiums are increasing approximately 17% across your medical, your dental, your vision, and your life insurance benefits. Are there any questions from the board?
Before we do that, do I have a motion for the resolution?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, Trustee Sabri, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Kozar. All right, now, is there any questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. We have a motion by Trustee Sabri, seconded by Trustee Kozar. Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Cordova.
Yes.
Trustee Kozar.
Yes.
Trustee Kumar.
Yes.
Trustee Sabri.
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Now we are going to go back to item 10A, appointment to a commission. Appointment of Beverly Johnston as commission member of the Senior Concerns Commission for a term expiring on April 30th, 2028. Do I have a motion for the appointment?
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Kozar, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Trustee Sabri, thank you. Is there any discussion? Trustee Kumar.
I'm very happy that someone is coming on the Senior Concerns Commission, but I also have been a little concerned with this commission not meeting regularly, and maybe it should be quarterly instead of monthly, and might make it easier for them to meet. So this is something that we should probably discuss at one point.
Well, I'll tell you right now that we have now 3 members of a 5-member commission that are ready to be started and having their meetings. First one will be the first Monday of the month. I just recently received the resignations of the other 2 members on there, and if you go to the village website, if you are interested, you can apply to be considered to be appointed to the Senior Concerns Commission. Come the first Monday of December, which is December 1st, they will be having their first meeting, and they will have enough for a quorum. Also, Trustee Constados is the board liaison to the Senior Concerns Commission, and Trustee Constados and myself both recently attended the SALT annual meeting that was held right here in this room, and Sergeant Bregman led that group. We had some really great conversations in there, and there's a great crowd of seniors that are here in Villa Park that have some really outstanding ideas. Some of those seniors are already planning on attending the Senior Concerns Commissions to talk about some of their ideas and things that they want to do. But from my conversations with Trustee Constados is that they are excited that they have big ideas for getting our seniors more involved. So I don't foresee the issue of meetings being irregular anymore, and that's something that we're trying to move away from. Is there any other discussion? Okay, seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Cordova?
Yes.
Trustee Kozar?
Yes.
Trustee Kumar?
Yes.
Trustee Sabri?
Yes.
Okay, that passes. We'll move to Section 11 of the consent agenda. The bill listing for the week of November 3rd, 2025 in the amount of $1,188,588.05, and the week of November 10th, 2025 in the amount of $469,921.35. Item B, approval of the amended minutes of the special meeting of the Village Board of Trustees held on October 20th, 2025. Item C, approval of the minutes of the special meeting of the Village Board of Trustees held on October 27th, 2025. Item D, the approval of the minutes of the special meeting of the Board of Trustees held on November 3rd, 2025. Item E, approval of the minutes of the special meeting of the Committee of the Whole held on November 10th, 2025. Item F, the approval of the minutes of the special meeting of the Village Board of Trustees held on November 10th, 2025. Item G, an ordinance granting a variation from Section 9.2.2 of the zoning ordinance for the property located at 427 North Wisconsin Avenue. Okay. And then item H, we have a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving the final change order number 01 to the contract with Moreau Sewer Construction of Des Plaines, Illinois, for the construction of the Ridge Road drainage improvements for a net addition in the amount of $47,710.93. Do I have a motion for the consent agenda?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, I got a motion by Trustee Kozar. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Trustee Sabri. Is there any discussion? Okay, seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Cordova?
Yes.
Trustee Kozar?
Yes.
Trustee Kumar?
Yes.
Trustee Sabri?
Yes.
Okay. Moving forward then, we will move back to item 13A, an ordinance for the first reading. An ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, amending Article... Oh, I apologize. I skipped over that. Yes, we have staff reports before we get to the ordinance of first reading. So that would be, what is that, 12A? 12A. Manager Rivas, I apologize.
Actually, it's going to be 12D. We're going to do the monthly financial report for October 2025. And Finance Director Susie Micah, if you are ready.
Good evening again. To give you a brief summary of where we landed at the end of October 2025, The total revenues to date in the general fund were $33.3 million, which is actually 119% of the 2025 annual budget, and that equals also $7.1 million more in revenues than we received during the same period in December 31st of 2024. As mentioned in our previous financial statement presentations, one of the variances that goes the other way is that there's $2.2 million in FEMA reimbursements last fiscal year that we're working with the auditors to reclass. But the big differential, which leads to the big surplus this year, is the $10 million in the IDNR grant that we got reimbursement for this fiscal year, and that's for this building that we're in right now. At 10 months into the fiscal year, we should have received approximately 83% of our budgeted revenues as a benchmark for performance. However, due to that IDNR grant and reimbursement, we've exceeded that benchmark. Most of the revenues for the other funds are generally performing in line with budget expectations, assuming that the planned transfers from the general fund to the respective funds occur, along with the budgeted interfund transfers from their committed sources. So for example, the capital fund is anticipated a $2.4 million transfer. The recreation fund right now is anticipating a $405,000 transfer. The Parks Fund is anticipated at $1.8 million, and then the Swimming Pool Fund is about $315,520. TIP 4, if looking at the revenue and expenses, received about $18,000 less than what was anticipated in the property tax revenues for 2025. And then TIP 5 right now received approximately $145,000 less than anticipated in property taxes. The Street Improvement Fund is awaiting a transfer from the MFT Fund in the amount of $685,000. And the Stormwater Buyout Fund is awaiting about $1.3 million from a federal grant, as well as $288,500 from a state grant. As of the end of October, overall general fund expenses are at 72%, which 83% is where we should be as a benchmark. And that is approximately $2 million less than the expenditures where we were at that same period last year. As the general fund revenues total $33.1 million in revenues, and expenses stand at $20.3 million before transfers. When we do those mentioned transfers that need to take place, the expenses will represent about 90% of the budgeted amount. This higher percentage is primarily due to the $2.6 million shortfall resulting from the previous administration's failure to budget for the police pension contribution. I'm currently holding off on processing the transfers as I'm collaborating with each department as we're finalizing the FY26 budget to assess their actual funding needs from the general fund. And based on those assessments, I will present a recommendation to the board through an amended budget. So if we need to do that, that'll be presented next month. So the next week, I will be working closely with those department heads to get those transfers made, so that this way we have a clean year-end number and we're not doing transfers after December 31st. All other funds are performing well, with the exception of TIP 7, and that's because the property tax revenues for this year are 1 year in arrears. So that doesn't mean it's not performing well, it just means that's 1 year in the arrears, and you'll start seeing those positive numbers come in next fiscal year. All of the TIP expenses in TIP 4 have been reclassified to TIP 7, as we're in the process of actually inactivating TIP 4 and merging it with TIP 7. That'll clean that up, and you'll see those two merge. And in the cash flow analysis by fund, which is the last page, the unaudited through October 31st number has some manual adjustments to the chart, and I'm continuing to refine it. And as mentioned earlier, I'm working on finalizing the remaining budget transfers for the general fund to the other funds so that we have a more accurate picture of the village's cash on hand by fund by the end of the year. And then with currently, as we are not accounting for those transfers, if we show those transfers in there, we're about 104 days of cash on hand. And that's it. That concludes my report. Are there any questions?
Okay, thank you. So that will conclude the monthly financial report. We also have in the board packet the FOIA report for November 2025, the Parks Buildings report, and the Illinois Gaming report for Villa Park for October 1st to November 19th, 2025 for your reference. We will go ahead and move on to an ordinance for first reading, 13A, an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, amending Article 22 of Chapter 2 of the Villa Park Municipal Code to create the Villa Fest Commission. Manager Rivas.
Thank you, Mr. President. This ordinance amends Article 12 or 22, excuse me, of Chapter 2 to create Villafest Commission. The commission will serve as an advisory body to the village board, responsible for the planning, coordination, and execution of Villa Park's community events, including Villafest. This is a first reading.
Okay. Is there any discussion? Okay. Trustee Kozar.
I'd like to make a motion to waive that first reading, or, waive the second reading. Is it the first or the second?
Waive the first reading.
First, and then just go ahead and vote on it afterwards.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, Trustee Kozar made a motion to waive the first and to approve, seconded by Trustee Sabri. Is there any discussion? Trustee Cordova.
Do we already have the volunteers lined up for this, or is this application process starting anew?
So I'd just like to say that I think I learned my lesson from back in June, and I've taken your advice and other people's advice as well, and that after the formation officially is created by this board, then we will work with staff to put an option for people to apply for this commission there. Once that commission is filled, then they could get started and begin operating. Trustee Kumar.
Can you clarify what this commission does that is different from what the Fund Commission is doing?
Absolutely. And one of the things that I'll say is that, when Trustee Cordova, I believe that you've been on Parks and Recs for quite some time. I don't know how many years.
9.
9 years. So then you're familiar with the history that Villa Park has surrounding Summerfest, and I think we all are. Summerfest in Villa Park used to be a huge event. I believe at one point it was multiple days, not just a Saturday. I believe there was a point where it was a Friday night, Saturday, all day Sunday. I could be wrong on that, but I know for a long time we had a commission that was designated to running Summerfest. That commission did an outstanding job. I don't know why or for whatever reason that commission was disbanded, and the responsibility of Summer Festival fell on that of our village staff. Village staff has a lot of work, especially with this new recreation center. They have a lot on their plate. So essentially, a few years ago, the village was issued a cease and desist letter from the city of Milwaukee because we are using the name Summerfest. And they asked us politely not to use that name anymore. So couple of years, there's only been a couple of years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, that the village decided, okay, well, we're going to listen. Instead of calling it Summerfest, we're going to call it Summer Festival. So in the spirit of the Summerfest Commission, this is taking that place. I've had conversations in the past with staff and Manager Rivas about ideas on how to revamp Summerfest. Summerfest is and we'll call it Villafest now, because I think that's the direction that we're going to be naming it and kind of rebranding our festival. It's something that we want to look at closer for our residents, giving back and further enhance Summerfest. Maybe even get some better attractions, more things for our residents to enjoy, and maybe even do this to start off with maybe a Friday night and an all-day Saturday, or something along those lines. But these are all ideas that we had that both the commission could utilize their talents along with the assistance of village staff and kind of take it off of their plate, so that way they can work on other things. So this is the primary function of, in my opinion, this commission. However, Villa Park has many other festivals and many other things that we do that we could further enhance for the benefit of our residents. Whether that be the 4th of July Parade, Autumn Jubilee, even Joyful Traditions with the Chamber of Commerce, all of these different things. With the new commissions as well, there are ideas of even or more new events coming up or down the pipeline, I should say. But the purpose of this commission, in my point of view, not only just to focus on Villa Fest, would be to help plan and assist all of our other commissions with the events that we plan on having in Villa Park as well. So that would be their scope. Trustee Kumar.
So the other commissions would still be doing Autumn Fest, still be doing their festivals. This would just work, they will mainly work on Summer Festival and then aid the other commissions.
They have the ability of doing that. I think it really works cohesiveness when other commissions work together. And I think that's something that we've lacked in the past when it's regarding our commissions about the overlap and working with each other. So once and or if this commission is established, and once we fill those spots, I think it would be wise to give direction to all commissions to understand that the Villa Fest Commission is somebody that can help them with theirs. We had the Fun Commission in here earlier that took over Autumn Jubilee, and Mary, the chair of that commission, did an outstanding job with that. They did it with only 5 people. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of hard work, too, a lot of stress, but they did it. They came out on top. It was excellent. That was one of the best events that I have seen Autumn Jubilee in years. And to incorporate our sections of Villa Park Prairie Path with all the vendors that were there, I think that was a brilliant idea by Mary and the commission. And then also the other thing that I was excited about was the skeletons. I think that was a unique touch that I could probably safely say that nobody else, no other municipality that shares the Illinois Prairie Path probably has done that before. So going back to your question is that, yes, I hope that these commissions will start working with each other and utilizing this commission to help them, assist them with their events. Any other comments? Okay. Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Cordova.
Yes.
Trustee Kozar.
Yes.
Trustee Kumar.
Yes.
Trustee Sabri.
Yes.
Okay. Moving along, is there any unfinished business? Okay, seeing none, we'll move to new business. Is there any new business? Okay, we'll move along to Village Commission reports. We've got the minutes of the Zoning Board of Appeals held on October 8th, 2025. We also have the minutes of the Fund Commission meeting held on September 23rd, 2025, and on October 7th, 2025. And we have the minutes of the Garden Village Commission held on October 16th, 2025 in the packet for your reference. All right, moving along. Village Clerk's report.
None.
Okay, seeing none, then we'll move to Village Trustees report. We'll start on my right. Trustee Cordova.
Just a happy Thanksgiving. There's a lot of people out there that may need help. We had the Outreach House get a plug today, the York Township get a plug, as well as all the other food banks. But somebody asked a question, I wasn't sure if it got answered. The Outreach House is at 805 South Main Street in Lombard. Just want to make sure that will get through. And then that's it. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Trustee
Really
Kozar.
Wanted to congratulate Michelle House on being the Director of Community Development. We're very pleased that you have that position. I think you've been doing a good job since you've been here, and I'm glad you're in that leadership role, so thank you. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. It's coming up, so eat lots, watch some football, have some fun, be safe. Have a good Thanksgiving with your families. That's all.
Thank you. Trustee Kumar.
A couple of things. One, I'd like to congratulate Go Green Villa Park. We did see Molly Cars came out today, and they've been doing a very successful job of many activities in Villa Park. in an eco-conscious fashion. They finished Pumpkin Smash at the VFW on November 8th. 60 cars and 1.8 tons of pumpkins were collected and diverted from a landfill, which is a great success. Also, they have a couple of things coming up that I thought were very important. They are having this swap in February for kids' clothes that she talked about. I think is a very important factor. The Cooking Oil Commission, she touched upon that. I'm going to clarify that Go Green Villa Park will be partnering with the Salt Creek Sanitary District on a special cooking oil collection on Saturday, November 9th from 9 a.m. to noon at the district office at 201 South Route 83 in Villa Park. All the cooking oil must be dropped off in a sealable container. Containers will not be returned. Only vegetable-based oil will be collected and no bacon grease or animal fats will be accepted. Okay, so here are some of the other activities she touched upon. The holiday light recycling, she talked about the 4 collection points. Please recycle your holiday lights, don't throw them in a landfill. The February kids clothing swap, which is February 7th. They're also having a Go Green holiday party swap, which is taking place in December, on December 19th. Just check their website for this information, where it's a swap of adult things, not just kids things. So that's all coming up. So these are all some good activities that Go Green Villa Park is doing. I did see their website. They also are announcing what we should do for Thanksgiving to be eco-conscious. So just take a little read of their 10 points of eco-consciousness if you get a chance. That's something I think we need to definitely look at. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you guys. Looking forward to Thanksgiving. I am. We have a lot of family in town. It's going to be a blast. I also want to thank all the people who came out for Halloween and got their Halloween awards. Villa Park is lighting it up. I hope that we can put like a little blurb, Riley, if you're still here, on the website with those pictures, because some of those houses are awesome. I'd love to get a see of that. I'd like to also talk a little about York Township Pantry. I was there at their meeting, and we did get accolades for our donation and a clear, there was an announcement made, and I thank our very own Bill Morey for making that announcement and thanking Villa Park for what we are doing. And they already were filling their pantry quite a bit, which is a good thing. I do, though, want to reach out also to Larry Hebreth and have a discussion with him about that outreach house, and I hope that we as a village can discuss how going forward that we're going to be donating to 501c3s and kind of budget for them more clearly. As you know, there are a lot of good causes in town, and I wouldn't want to give up one for another necessarily. So I think we should have that discussion and think about how we're going to budget in a year for 501c3s so that we can continue to do the good we are doing and maybe continue the processes of donation that we have. And that's it.
Trustee Sabri.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I just came back from my hunting trip. It was very successful. All I could say is when we have our festival dinners, we need to think about the families that York Township and some of these other pantries are touching their needs. They're attending to their needs. We just had a BFW just donated good amount of food to some of those families, and I said that before. York Township, it's amazing the amount of people are coming through. 200 families per day on average they're taking in, and then, like he said today, that they have to turn away some of those families. So we need to think about those families who are in need, and perhaps we can reach out and adopt some of those families so they can have a good Thanksgiving Day dinner, just like all of us we will have. Also, VFW is hosting a Thanksgiving Day dinner to the naval base cadets. They are coming to Willow Park. So we will be celebrating Thanksgiving Day dinner with them. It's a good thing that we are accommodating and we are doing it. In a good note, I'd like to shout out to our school superintendent, Brian Graber. I have been meeting with the school district 45 for some of the meetings they are attending, their budget meeting. I think that local residents, they do need to get involved. They need to attend those meetings. Our school district is in somewhat in the need of our support. Even though I don't have any kids, but I do support their need, and whatever their needs are, I think that our community do need to go out and at least look at their website and see what are they doing. My thoughts are that if we have a good school, we could be a good community. We don't need to think about what we have today. We need to think about what is going to be Willow Park 10 years down the road. If we can have better schools, we can have better residents moving into this town. So definitely we need to pay attention to what their needs are. I will encourage our community to come out and be part of that meeting. Be part of what their needs are. We can have a better school in Willow Park, so the other community, just like Willow Park, should be talked about, that how good those schools are and what we are doing today. We're planting for 10 years down the road for our children, so we can have better students and we can have a better community. Let's pray for everyone. We need to work together. We don't need to have any differences, especially in Thanksgiving Day. We need to go reach out to our neighbors and see what their needs are, see what we can do. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. So good evening, everybody. Tonight, I just have a few things as well. I wanted to start off by saying last weekend I was able and had the privilege of attending Willowbrook High School's Seussical the Musical, and I just want to say it was an outstanding performance all the way around, from staged crew to everybody. It was a lot of fun. I really did enjoy myself. My family enjoyed it as well. So. I'm not sure if they're still having, I think they're done, but congratulations to Willowbrook High School and the cast and crew for Seussical the Musical. Outstanding performance. Last Friday, myself and Deputy Village President Carrie Alfano, we met with staff and Baker Tilly to discuss the village's forensic financial audit. On Wednesday, I had the honor of attending Stella Mae Swartz in District 48 to go to feed my starving children, and that was a very humbling experience as well. It was a lot of fun. The kids are really good at packing food, and in just about 3 hours, they were able to pack over 50,000 meals, which I just think is outstanding. But I appreciate District 48 and Stella Mae Swartz for allowing me to come with and experience that, so thank you. We touched base about the Thanksgiving already. The VFW is hosting recruits from Great Lakes Naval Base, and they will be arriving at the VFW in Villa Park on Thanksgiving Day anywhere between 9 and 9:30. So if you want to come out and celebrate our troops and give them a nice warm welcome, we definitely really appreciate that. They'll be coming in a big bus and walking in through the front door. And again, they'll be there around 9 to 9:30 on Thanksgiving Day morning that way. And again, Trustee Sabri had already mentioned, but today him and I Also met with the York Township Food Pantry and the VFW for another sizable donation, which was just incredible. We've had a lot of support from a lot of different communities and organizations here in town. Within the first 4 days of the village board deciding to make that donation, we helped raise over $20,000 worth of donations to the York Township Food Pantry, not just from us, but other sizable donations from the Islamic Foundation of Villa Park, the Villa Park VFW, St. Paul Lutheran Church, and we even had an anonymous donor of $5,000. We talk about Thanksgiving, and I am just so thankful for our residents of Villa Park for being the way that you are. Whenever there are hard times, you always find a way to come through for one another. And that is something that I am very thankful for, especially on this Thanksgiving. So keep up the great work, Villa Park. Keep out looking out for one another. We all appreciate it, especially during these times when we should be enjoying these holidays. I did write a letter to surrounding mayors, Oak Brook Terrace, Elmhurst, Lombard, and Oak Brook Terrace, and I still haven't heard anything yet. So if you are watching out there, please respond to my letter. Let's do this. Let's see how much we can do for York Township Food Pantry. I think we have an opportunity here to help our residents even more. With that being said, this December, we have our Village Town Hall meeting right here at the VPRC from 5 to 8 p.m. Again, we'll have guest speakers, we'll have a raffle, and from 7 to 9 p.m., live music from Liquid Fun and free food, but while supplies last. December 12th, 5 to 8. But it's also a great opportunity for our residents to come out and meet our commissions, meet the local groups that are being presented, and find out who we are and what we're all about. Other than that, again, please be safe, have a happy Thanksgiving, and stay safe out there. Manager Rivas.
Thank you, Mr. President. With this Thanksgiving coming up, I'm thankful for my family and loved ones, but I'm also thankful for village staff. You make it a joy to come to work every day. I appreciate all the hard work you do during normal hours, during after hours, during weekends, and putting the special time and the extra time to get things done for this village. Fully appreciative. I hear nothing but good things from citizens, and that's a credit to all the hard work village staff does, so I'm thankful for them as well. Please don't tell my family, but you guys are way up there. Also, I'm thankful for the village board and the guidance and governance that they show us and moving forward, and just want to say happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
Thank you. With that being said, we are going to move into executive session pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2C2, collective negotiating matters between the public body and its employees or their representatives, or deliberations concerning salary schedules for one or more classes of employees, and we will adjourn from this meeting out of executive session. Do I have a motion for executive session?
I'll make a motion.
A motion by trustee Sabri. Do I have a second?
A second.
Seconded by trustee Kozar. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Cordova? Yes. Trustee Kozar?
Yes.
Trustee Kumar?
Yes.
Trustee Sabri?
Yes.
Okay, we will now move into executive session at 8:26 p.m. Thank you, everybody.